Okay, good morning. I think this is not enough after tea break. I don't know what happens after lunch break. Anyway, so my name is Sai Penamuru, currently with the DXC Technology as a chief technologist in application transformation space. And also, I'm a co-founder and president of All India Oracle Users Group. So how many are part of AIOG here? Yeah, so other guys need to actually know what it is. Anyway, we'll talk in the later slides. And also Oracle Ace Director and the Developer Champion. So how many of you know about Oracle Ace program? Oh, a lot of work we need to do today. Okay, that's a Twitter field. If you want to tweet something on that's my Twitter field. And again, I forgot to ask, what is DXC technology all about? It's basically the merger between HP Enterprise Services and CSC Computer Science Corporation. And you can see the numbers talks, right? 170,000 employees. And so we are into multiple places like, now I think it's all digital transformation. So we'll talk about what it is in coming slides, but it's DXC technology. I think we have completed on 3rd April, it's 1-year celebrations. Also, look at my day job. So how many are developers? DBAs? Okay, I'm just really interested to see like developers are coming for the DBCS session, which is the Database Cloud Services. Excellent. So again, if you try to understand, because it's a little bit deep slide here. So my job is to basically help customers to move their applications to cloud, okay? So it's not easy, right? So if you go to any customer, you have a different applications like Oracle, non-Oracle, even some customers, we have mainframes like legacy, so many things, right? It's not easy. So you basically need to assess that particular applications. It takes 3 months time, depends on the number of applications and criticality. And, for example, all the systems are, connected through SOA, so many things, right? So my job is to create their roadmap and the business case, why they want to move to cloud. Also create a business case because we need money to move to cloud, convince their business, this is the way you save your cost in next 5 years, But again, if you look at this slide, this is called treatments. Any applications can be actually fall under in this buckets. For example, Oracle Forms and Reports, right? We don't have exact applications up and running in Oracle Cloud. So 2 options, you can actually just rehost, which is lift and shift or forklift, whatever the terms. And the another option is, forget about Oracle Forms and Reports, you refactor into Java Cloud Services, okay? So we'd say if you do a refactor, you'll save a lot of money, but if you do just lift and shift, it will be up and running, and one day Oracle will say it's a de-supported Oracle Forms and Reports. So we'll all do all this. I think it's crazy job, but the thing is we need to make sure that we know all the clouds, which cloud is actually suitable for which applications, all the stuff, yeah? So if you're really interested, talk to me offline. I'm happy to explain. And this is an Oracle ACE program. It's something like an advocacy program. I'm sure your developers and DBAs, you write a lot of blogs, and you'll be maybe helping your community in a different ways, right? So if you start doing that, so you're eligible for this program. For example, you may be writing blogs, right? So that way, somebody is actually getting help through some way, right? And sometimes you can actually track all the statistics, all the stuff. So that's one way. And the second way is speaking, like these conferences. Not only this, like these conferences, even the small conferences. And also, like, for example, you may be writing an article in OTN. Now it's an Oracle Developer Community. So there are many things. If you're really interested, you're already doing this part of your job, so let me know. We can nominate, or you can actually nominate yourself, okay? And there are a lot of advantages. I don't want to spend time because I really run into a race here. In 45 minutes, I had to complete so much stuff. But yeah, so if you're really interested, so 2 things, you can talk to me, or you can go to Developer Launch, and there is, I think she's here. You can talk to her about Oracle Ace program, and she can definitely guide you. Lori, thanks, Lori. Yeah, so next 45 minutes, very basic agenda. Before that, how many are already using database cloud services? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And Oracle Cloud? Yeah. Oh my God. That's why we got coupons in everyone's badge. So you need to sign up today. And by the way, you need to sign up because this is a special code. When you sign up, you will get immediately. But if you go to home and you sign up with a different URL, it takes time. Okay, that's a secret. I should not disclose this one. But yeah, sign up. Okay, before going to the deep dive, so let us see, I think, again, how many of you don't know anything about cloud? Only one? Excellent. So we can have one-to-one session. But coming back to this cloud, right? So there are plenty of services, but broadly it's categorized into 3 services: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and SaaS means software as a service, right? So what is the difference between these 3 pillars? You can see that the black spots like managed by you, and the white one is managed by the vendor. For example, you sign up for example, DBCS, Database Cloud Services, right? That falls under platform as a service. So Oracle is responsible for, you can look at this, the whole stack, only application data you manage, right? When it comes to SaaS, everything is managed by the cloud vendor, for example, Oracle, right? So here, if you see, in SaaS, you'll get a lot of advantages because you're actually focusing on your business. You don't care about your admin job, right? So that's why, and one of the best thing about Oracle Cloud is SaaS-based. You see plenty of SaaS-based applications like your financial management, HR management, you have all SaaS-based. Only the problem is you need to accompany with that standard SaaS-based. You cannot do a lot of customization on it, but yeah, still you can do, depends on how you want to host. So the next one is, I'm just going a little deeper. So we know what it is, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Now, what is IaaS? Again, it is same as every vendor, but one of the good thing about Oracle is, so there's no pointer here, bare metal compute, right? So all your critical systems can be actually run on your bare metal server. For example, Oracle actually introduced this concept called Cloud at Customer. You don't require, because normally what happens, public cloud, people think that it is not safe. I don't want to send my data. So most of the, governance, all the stuff. So Oracle can actually send the cloud admission to your data center, and Oracle manage, and it is the same cost. Only thing is you need to sign up for a minimum CPU. Okay. I cannot say I want a cloud machine, but I'm going to use only 2 CPU. That's not possible, right? So that's one of the best option in IaaS. But I think every cloud vendor provides similar stuff. And also platform as a service. There are plenty of platform services. One of the things today we are going to discuss about database cloud services, right? And SaaS-based, again, HCM, means HCM, HR systems, also financial management, financials cloud, so many things, yeah? And also, this is a different way of looking. You can see all this is listed here, but today's, I'm going to focus on only this data management, database, and DB backup, okay? That's under platform as a service. Okay, why should use database in cloud, right? So one of the, I think most of developers and DBS know what is our, most of the time we spend installations and getting the server, so many things. And it takes, if for example your server is ready with the prerequisites, then you go and install. That takes maybe a couple of hours, like 2-3 hours. But if you look at the whole timeline between procurement of server to installation of database, maybe if you are doing very properly, it will be 1 week, sometimes 3 months, right? So, but in cloud, it's all driven by UI interface. In 3 clicks, you'll get a database up and running, right? Within 20 minutes. Sometimes it may be 30 minutes. And DBS, right? How difficult to install Oracle RAC? So here it is just clicking a button, and you'll be Oracle RAC up and running. How difficult to set up DR system? How difficult to take backups? Everything is just selecting a box, and even you can give it to your kids. They can actually play it, yeah? So that's that much simple. But ultimately, you need to understand why everything is, that's what we got autonomous database, right? So they're saying, initially we thought there's no human intervention. They said we are losing jobs, but that's not the concept, right? Our focus should be more on innovation as a developers. You should focus on what is your business, right? What your business is looking, how do we drive that, right? You should not depend on saying that, oh, I want these systems, I want these softwares need to be installed, so that takes 1 week time. Your innovation is taking only a couple of us time. So we are shifting that to innovation, and we are losing the admin side, okay? So there are plenty of advantages: self-read, provision, complete database cloud, pay as you go. That's one of the typical example for cloud, you just use for that time, right? Especially useful for in quarter close, year-end close. That's not possible in on-prem systems, right? So you need a more CPU, more compute. You can just bump up, scale up, and scale down depending on that. And also testing and development. You just basically, my company, like for example, you come at 9 o'clock and you close your shop development activities at 6 o'clock, shut down the mission, right? You are not charged. But in on-prem, you're simply, up and running, system is up and running, so many things, right? You're cooling, power, so many resources you're wasting, right? Again, this is another slide. 88 steps if you want to install database, but when it comes to cloud, it is only 3 steps, and these are the three things. Just select a couple of options. I'm disturbing the screen, or it's very difficult. I don't know where to stand. But it's 3 things, like, for example, select releases, software edition, and database type, and then you're good to go. We'll see that in demo. So I'm just really running. I have 34 minutes now. And this is very important slide if somebody wants to if you want to convince somebody, right? So you should talk to this slide. So here you can see the value creation and what it is. Like your all ongoing maintenance cost, backup, patching, hardware, everything is taken care. But currently we are spending that time. Most of our time is actually in the amber color, but everything is taken care by cloud, right? So that's what we should actually focus on, the innovation side of it. So that's why the 88 steps can be possible in 3 steps, and also 2 hours time can be possible in 20 minutes. And again, what happens behind the scenes, you'll see that, allocate compute, storage, provision voice, everything is happening without your knowledge, but this is even if you want to automate, you follow the same steps, right? I think I should see the screen. I cannot see the screen. And also, so again, I think we have discussed about DBA patching, backup and recovery, maximum security, right? There is a debate. Everybody think that you put your data in public cloud, and then you will be like a lot of security issues. But it is another way, right? So how many of you actually, I don't know how many of you actually connected to your data centers? Are they really certified, up to date? Are you certified? All the certification what Oracle Cloud or Amazon provides. Sorry? Yeah, but I'm saying like HIPAA certifications, all the stuff. Yeah. So that's I think you should think about that, right? For any data center, we need to be certified on multiple things like HIPAA, all the stuff. We never do that. How many are actually applying Oracle patches, security patches? We never do that, right? Forget about other things. So in cloud, it is must, right? So that's where your data is more secure, and remotely you can manage on-prem and cloud with a one single tool like Enterprise Manager, right? Again, this is the way you can get agility, cost benefits, and also risk. And again, if you look at the options, you have standard edition, enterprise edition, EE, high performance, enterprise edition, high performance, enterprise edition, extreme performance, and you can see what are the options available with these options, okay? So for example, if you want to go for like a mission critical systems, you can go for EE, extreme performance. Depending on that, your even compute size changes, okay? Everything is online. You can check, how many CPUs actually you'll get, but in demo also, I'll show you what are the options available. And another good comparison slides. So you have, whenever you go to Oracle Cloud, you can see these are the options: Exadata Express, a database, Extreme Elastic Cloud, database, bare metal cloud, and Exadata. So depending on your choice, depending on your business, you can select. For example, you can see your CPU ranges between 16 to 100. I think this is now increased. So depending on that, you can select what options you need to choose. Again, another way, for example, Oracle Database, Exadata Express. This is perfectly suitable small, medium-sized databases. And Oracle Database, it's actually pay as you go. That's what we are going to talk and show the demo. And also Database, Exadata Cloud Services, it's more suitable for mission-critical systems, online transaction processing systems. So that's the best one. And bare metal, if you want to run actually your workloads into bare metal and you don't want anything to be run on virtualization. And also, there are so many ways, but this is I think this is Oracle slide, 6 Oracle journeys to cloud. For example, your data center, right? How do you move to public cloud? So first one is optimize on-prem databases. That's one of the opportunity. And also, if you look at, so there are many use cases, right? For example, if you want to move your test and development. So the another use case is 18c. You want to test your existing application with 18c. Is it really working or not? That's the best option. Go to Oracle Cloud and deploy 18c. Plug your application, see how the performance, how any impacts, everything is fine. Then you can upgrade to 18c. Right? That's not possible in on-prem. Yeah, possible. But you need to wait. The Oracle strategy, whatever they release, they'll release in cloud. After some time, they'll release in on-prem, which takes sometimes 6 to 1 year, right? So that's one of the best use case. Also, if you're really starting a new business, a new application, try to directly go to Oracle Cloud and you can use it. And also transform SaaS, right? You have plenty of COTS applications, packages, bespoke applications running in your customer. I think you should actually talk to your customer about SaaS-based application. That will give a lot of value in terms of labor, in terms of maintenance, everything. If you're really interested, I can show some of the statistics, how much we have saved. And also, if you look at, I don't know how many of you really look at your customer portfolio, right? So there are actually the same application between you basically bought it from different vendors. For example, like a ticketing system, right? So you have multiple ticketing systems. So this is the opportunity where you can use only one ticketing system. Everybody will come to that. So that way you will save a lot of cost. So key consideration moving to cloud. Again, this is another, it will give you some more ideas. What are the different things is. So can I move my data to cloud? Yes. You can move your sandboxes and non-production instances. So what are the challenges? It's like a capital intensive, time intensive. For example, if you want to do something, you really need a server capacity available in on-prem, but in cloud, you can just use it and close it, right? So that way you can say that pay as you go and DB deployments in 30 minutes and scale up and scale down, right? So you have a performance issue, scale up and see your load is now nobody is using, scale down. And again, as I mentioned, same example, use only that certain period, morning 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock, then you shut down. So you're not charged for next 12 hours, okay? Again, remember, whenever you sign up, everything is good, and you get a login, you start the database instance is up and running, make sure that you shut down that system. Otherwise, your credits will go in 1 day or maybe in a couple of hours. Okay? So make sure that you shut down the system. Whenever you want, you can bring up the system back. Can I back up to the cloud? I think this is one of the best example. You can do it. Like, for example, I think storage is very, very cheap in cloud, right? So you can actually move terabytes of data, which is actually secure. Forget about all taking tape backups, all the stuff. I know when I was in DBA, we always take a tape backup. I forgot all the commands. But we never restored. We always pray God, never give any data crash or production crash because we know we never tested that. I think there are some companies, they do all the testing, but it is such a painful process, tedious process. But in cloud, it just, take a backup of that instance, and I want to create the instance from that backup. And it's easy. How many of you use Oracle VM here? Oracle VM VirtualBox. Yeah, you know, for example, you take a snapshot, like you install something, you take a snapshot that's saved, and come back after you did some nasty work, and you want to go back to the snapshot, whatever you saved, right? You can go. Similar way, you can take a backups, and you can play with that similar way in user interface here. So again, in terms of business, you say no upfront cost. Whenever how much data you're taking, backup, it depends on only that much you need to pay, and it's very, very cheap. You can go to the price list, and it's less than whatever you buy the pen drive. It's less than that amount. Create a disaster recovery site, and this is almost another example. Your production is on-prem. I'm fine. Don't move your production, but still you can keep your DR system in cloud. That way you can save a lot of things. And also it proves your hybrid cloud, right? So what is a hybrid cloud? It's actually the integration between different clouds. So here it is public cloud, your on-prem cloud, private cloud. So you can play with this. So that way you can also support hybrid cloud model. Data warehouse, where we need really capacity, like whenever you run batch jobs, you need a really elastic capacity. Then you're done. Your batch job is done between that time. Then you can release that. So this is the place you can actually use it, and also business analytics platform as a service. So that's available from Oracle, and you can use that. And again, it's not stopping you to use that one, but you can use any business analytics. But one of the good things is Oracle provides everything in one single cloud. It's easy to integrate, easy to talk. OLTP, can I move my OLTP productions? Yes, there are so many critical systems are up and running in clouds, especially in Oracle Cloud. So you can actually, one of the important things is fundamentals of cloud, where you can actually scale in, scale up, depends on demand, right? Will my data secure on cloud? So that's what I was talking. So you look at, there are so many certificates. If you go to Google, say that, Oracle Cloud certificates or Amazon certificates, you'll see like plenty of, you never understand what it is. Even I don't know what is HIPAA, but you'll see like 1,000 certifications. And we never do that.
American security related stuff.
Yes.
Basically, American follow the HIPAA.
Yeah.
Europe will follow different.
Yes. So you have 1,000 certification. So my point is, are you really doing it on your on-prem data centers? No, right? We never do. Even I'm pointing about how many of you apply Oracle security patches as a DBA regularly. It depends on the customer again. But when I was working with I think I can disclose. When I was working with GE, so we do like in a 6 months time. It depends on again different groups inside the GE. Some of the groups are like very highest security patches. Some groups they don't care, right? So in Oracle Cloud, it is all taken care by Oracle. Our DBA jobs are really easy here. Okay, finally, so what are these guys actually benefit as a technical team, as a developer? The first box where you can see faster access to new features, infrastructure, and basically I was actually presented a different topic in Hyderabad, that is modernize your development experience with the DevCS, where you can actually write. So normally what happens if you want a compute system, you talk to your OS operating system team, but here they allocate some quota to you. Okay, when you log in, you can actually spin up your VMs, and you can spin up your VM by just writing a code, right? So that is, you have a flexibility, and you don't require to, depends on the operating system team. So that's where you have all the access. And CIOs, what they'll get enhanced business insight, intelligence, everything. But the business, fast time to get market. So what is your developer's main aim whenever you go to office, right? The business wants some new features. Business wants some modification. Business wants something. So how quickly you can actually get them into production? That's your challenge, right? So this way, because nothing is stopping at the operations level and everything is in your hand, because as a developer, you can maintain all the layers from the operating system, network, everything in your hand. So you can easily do everything with your hand without depending on other operations team. Show me how it works, right? So I was talking people may feel that I'm doing Oracle marketing, but show me how it works, right? So let us quickly go through the slides, then I'll go to the live demo. So when you go to DBCS, you'll see the print, screen like this. Create instance. The next screen, it will ask you, like, on the bottom, you can see, on the top, you can see the 3 bullets. That's what I was talking about, 3 steps. And you just provide instance name, and you can just select, software releases. You want 18C, 12C. I think 11.204, I'm not sure it is still there or not, but they're going to de-support that very soon. And the standard edition, as I mentioned, Express edition, extreme performance, high performance, and database types, single instance, rack instance, or you want a rack instance with DR, all just a selection of box, and say submit. And you have some more options where you need to provide your system password. And you see there is another section on the left side, so database backup, right? So here itself, you are saying that my backup should be go to this particular container so that it will be done at the time of instance creation itself. And you have a couple of choices here where you can change the port numbers and character set, all the stuff. And say next, it will show the summary. But again, still we are lazy. We don't want to give all the stuff. There is another pack where you can say quick starts, standard edition, enterprise edition, extreme performance. You can say that, select that particular option. Everything will be done in a single click. Okay, there are people, they don't want to even click 3 clicks, but you can do a single click where you can get everything. It's something like you go to a hotel, you got a meals immediately served, but if somebody will say, I want that will take 30 minutes, right? So for that type of people, you have everything quick starts. So yeah, so you can see that, I'll spin up one of the instances yesterday. You can see how many CPU, everything in the screen. And also, as I mentioned, scale up and scale down. So this is the way, okay, my database is actually performing poor, and my CPU is actually touching 80%, so I want to scale up. So you can just select that option. Even the storage, you can just put how much you want and say, yes, scale up, then it will scale up. And your work is done, scale down, done, right? So you're only paying for that couple of hours time. And also the snapshot, normally we take Orman backup, cold backup, whatnot, right? So here it is, it will take a snapshot of the database, and you can create the same database for your development purposes later. And yeah, so start and stop is here. You don't require to remember server commands, shutdown commands. I remember my DBA days where, you're struggling between the shutdown options, immediate, abort. You have to read multiple times, and it's always confusing. It's all gone now. It's just UI interface. You can say stop, it will start, right? So what are the other things? You can see that, for example, when you spin up an instance, you need to open some ports. People can actually access through that ports because, for example, 1521, you need to open that port to access from the tools or from your applications. So we'll talk about security in coming slides, but everything is closed when you create an instance, but you have to open all the stuff. Backup, patch, clone. So all backups are here. You can see the timings, all the ID numbers, everything is up and running. And anytime you can go back. If something happens to your production, you can go back and restore, recover. And these are the security systems, like, for example, the access rules, where you can see that, everything is into. That means it's all blocked, but you have to open by clicking on that line symbol. So these are this is the one dashboard where you can monitor a couple of instances. You can say that after code, even after my session, right, I'm going to shut down that system so that I'll save money, right? So you see, just an example, there's another system which is actually shut down, but I have all things are up and running. I can just bring it back in minutes. Create a database from the clone. Your clone is available from the snapshot. You can do it. One-click MA. It's like maximum availability architecture. So you can select, rack with the data guard, everything. I think in our companies, we have a specified DBAs for setting up these things, but nobody is required now. You can do it yourself. So what is coming with DBCS, right? So there's a big line. That's a DBCS. But what is coming, a part of that? So you have a monitoring system, right? So this is all free stuff coming when you actually spin up the DBCS. You have a database as a monitor. I'm sure, I think some days after you really require to go, where is the alert log and all the stuff. So you can actually monitor everything from this dashboard. Everything is available. And this is a free stuff, not with Enterprise Manager, right? So I'll show you the demo. And and this is a by default, whenever you install database, you'll get a Database Express, similar to your Enterprise Manager, where you can monitor everything, performance, all the stuff. Also, Application Express is part of your DBCS. You can, if you're a developer, you can start using it. It's a free. Again, you can start building with Apex. So let's go to live demo and see. I'm not talking anything wrong here. So let me show you the live demo. So this is a dashboard. Only thing is you need to really monitor, because every time Oracle changes, because every time before presenting my slides, I have to really take a new snapshots. Because the way even that works is actually the agile fashion. Okay, they always change depending on the demand. This all happens, again, that depends on your internet speed, right? So that's one of the prerequisites. So this is a dashboard, even when you sign up, right? So you can actually see there are plenty of services, but I'm not going to talk, because if I want to talk, I need a full day. But we only talk about databases. So you can customize all this dashboard, whatever you like. You have a customized dashboard options here. But when you go to databases, right? And you'll see where you can actually create your databases and see how many databases are up and running, all the database statuses, like shutdown, all the stuff. So let me open this. So you can see that there's an instance actually yesterday I created for a demo purpose, and there is another instance which is up and running. And you say click on here. You can actually go to the monitoring tool. And before that, so as I mentioned, there's a quick starts for lazy DBAs or lazy people, where you can see everything is written. You just need to select. Also try to see, we'll create one instance, and I'm sure we don't have 20 minutes. Sometimes it happens in 15 minutes. Sometimes it happens in 30 minutes. You can see actually the live demo of what are the options we need to select. Okay, so this is a quick, and we don't want to go in this route, but let me go to the normal channel, where you can see that three-step process. Trust me, this is all internet problem, but if you have in your company, I think we can do it very quickly. Because I think most of the guys that we are using for internet in mobile phones, it's all shared. So I say open service console. So I say create instance, right? So that's where you start your database. So you say that, code, BLR, and that's all you need, and you select. And there is a box here, because Oracle recently, last Oracle Open World, they announced saying that, because it's such a confusing, here is a different license model, in on-prem different license model. So they actually flexed it, saying that, you can bring your own license. If you are already having enterprise licenses, you can use it here, right? So what is important here is, still I see 11G release 2, but I think they're going to stop in a couple of months. But here is 18C interesting, right? So you can select 18C. And software edition, again, as I mentioned, there are 4 options. You have extreme performance, high performance, all the stuff. Then you can actually ask, I want a rack instance or a single instance, right? So I'll say rack instance. Say next. Yeah, this is again, it's not performance with the Oracle Database Cloud Services. It's all internet. So what happens, the next screen, okay. So next screen, you can see that, you should actually provide your passwords, and, you want a big backup is initiated at the time of creation itself. So you can select all those options. Okay, let me meanwhile jump into this, so the monitoring tools, right? So which is already up and running from the AIOUG database. Let me refresh it. This is another challenge, right? So any questions in between when it comes up? Sorry? Yeah, same. But again, your challenge is it's absolutely wrong because you never see any performance issue because it's the same mission, it's up and running, and you have a privilege to scale in and scale up, right? So you don't face any performance issue. Definitely, you will face a performance issue in your on-prem because when it touches the 80% or 90% of the CPU. But again, cloud is nothing great. It's two missions. One mission is sitting here, another mission is sitting there. So it's same migration use. You can use transportable table space or whatever methods we have. So Revelo is a different, right? So for example, what happens is the Revelo's business case is something like, one second. So Revelo is, for example, okay, your .NET application is up and running. You don't want to actually, I think it's very hard to say, going to Oracle Cloud, spin up Oracle Windows machine and installing a .NET application. Instead of that, you can put that into a container and you can move to the Oracle Cloud, so it's not impacting anything. And most of the customers, they don't want to touch their legacy systems, which is perfectly working for the business sense. In that case, you can just put it in a Revelo, then you can move it. It's basically you're moving the whole as a VM. Okay, so let me switch back to this. As I mentioned, the DB monitoring is coming with the free stuff. It's really difficult. Without internet, I'm totally failed to show anything. I think you guys can actually switch off for some time. Then I can use my bandwidth. I don't know how many are actually uploading the Facebook or something. You can switch off sometime. At least I'll get something here in this room. So DB database monitoring is coming up. It's very simple. That's a username. And Express is coming up. Create instance. I'm thinking there is some impact. Somebody is actually following my words. Somebody actually switched off the Wi-Fi. If you guys increase that, I think this will work. So any other questions? Yes? What's that? Huh. There are many third-party providers, but from Oracle, it's a standard process. That's what I'm talking to him, right? So it's the same method. When you yes. So that's what I'm saying, right? What happens when you actually migrate your database from one system to other system? What methods you follow? You follow RMAN, backup, or export DB or import DB on transportable table space, all those things. Yeah. Yes, definitely. Yes. Oracle is very, very much interested. So talk to the product managers, and I think so. That's what the fight is going on between Oracle and Microsoft. Okay, something is up here. So code Bangalore. So let me select 18C, extreme performance, rack, say next. And between I have something is up and running here. So don't see my password, sorry. Very, very tough, whenever you create an Oracle passwords, it will not allow so much time. So I always save. So my password, and you have the storage, how much you want, you can increase, and you select the OCPU here, right? Again, you need to understand a little bit about what it is OCPU here. So if you look at this one, right, it comes with one CPU, 7.5 GB. When the next one goes to 2 CPU, it goes to 15 GB, right? So they follow some standards. Everybody follows some standards. But again, you just blindly, even if it is production, start with 7.5, and you have a flexibility to scale up and scale in, and you feel that you saved 20 minutes time in that compute, right, instead of just creating. And see here, what storage? I don't want to show something now, so you can say none. So I don't want to take any backup because it's a development and test instance. So say none. And yeah, one of the important thing is how you log in, right? So you need some private keys, that way it is actually secured one. My conferences, DBCS, yeah, public key, say enter. That way you can actually log into your boxes. You know how you log in with the public keys, right? In a PuTTY session. Oh. Oh. No, it's really hard because without internet, I cannot do anything. Okay, it's none, selected now, say next. So even I have a dongle, but which is actually 2 Mbps speed. Okay, so I think at least my message is, hope you understand different use cases here. So why don't you try Oracle Cloud with your code, right? And make sure that you shut down your instance once you're done. So what you need to understand as a DB or developer. So developer, so you can actually write your code with infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a code. You can just spin up your instances up and running. Maybe I think you are not ready at your organizations where they are still use on-prem databases and our standard tools. But coming to this type of conferences, you have a privilege to have some free accounts. Also, I'm sure because as a users group leader, I do a lot of lecture. I think this is a technology shift. Please come out of your comfort zones and try different areas. And I think it's a best, we are restarting our careers now, and who actually runs fast. So make sure to pick up whatever technology you want and just run, right? Don't delay. Everything will change. Okay, so it's horrible. So I think EM, right, most of you guys know what is EM, so it's a similar to that, but I want to show this DB database as a monitor tool where you can actually see a lot of things like as I'm showing in PowerPoint. Okay, so what it is showing is, I cannot do it that's correct, right? I've selected one CPU and I'm trying to create a rack, so absolutely. One core. So you need to select more. So let me select this one. I'm not going to submit anyway. Otherwise, all my credits will burn in 1 hour.
One question. Actually, in backend, which machine it uses? Is it Exadata or like
Because rack, it uses Exadata. But if it is a single instance, that's why you remember 4 options. In one of the slide, it depends on what option you select. Depending on that, it selects. Also, there are some customers. I think SBI is the first customer in India. They use clouded customer site mission, which is actually Oracle delivered all the Exadata missions they are using. So they don't have any problem to scale up and scale down. And again, you are not owning that systems, right? So Oracle, whatever amount you are paying, the same amount is charged to SBI. But you can actually play with your on-prem cloud missions as well as public cloud, depending on your business case. So that's why, if you remember my infrastructure as a service on, I think, 3rd or 4th slide, it's called Fast Connect. So that's actually the pipeline between your data center and the public cloud. So that's a Fast Connect. And also, similar to Microsoft Azure, they use a different words. But again, it is a network between your data centers and
everything is running on cloud?
Mm-hmm.
IOPS and latency, how we can change and increase?
That's what I'm saying. You don't feel anything. It's actually running on cloud or in on-prem because of the network. It's a Fast Connect. And I think nobody knows actually. For example, if you're not aware, somebody implemented cloud, you never notice the difference between these 2 systems. It all connects because of network bandwidth. Okay, this is a summary, but I'm just running 2 minutes. Again, you can see that. Okay, so again, this is my marketing talk. So it's All India Oracle Users Group. please, we do the similar events, not free events, by the way, not like Oracle. We are not really rich. But the intention of creating this users group is to come share. How many of you actually talk to your new person here today? We always, I think, try to sit our colleagues, but this is the best place you talk to different people. That will really help in different ways, One of the way you can change your jobs, so many things, right? So one of the things is, I think, how many of you know Andrew? Oh my God. How many want to learn about performance, Oracle database performance? That's a market because your admin stuff is gone. You only need to focus on performance. So we are running this event in 3 cities. In Bangalore, it is in Crown Plaza. Now the name changed to Otera. And these 3 people are coming. So all three people are going to stand in one stage, and all 3 are going to present. Maybe confusing, right? So basically, they'll say, this is the way I'm going to do the performance. The other guys will say, that's not correct. This is the way I'm going to do it. So they will present like that. And also, you can bring your AWR reports to them, and they will solve live session. Also, like this session, this is more of a yatra. This is a tour. Because what happens, you are based in Bangalore, and some people based in Hyderabad. It's very easy to attend. But we are going to their cities with a few speakers. For example, how many Kennard McDonald? Oh, don't know. I think it's asktom.oracle.com. How many of you know Asktom? Okay. So we don't have Tomkite now, so it's maintained by Kanar and Chris and Maria and other people. So he's our regular supporter. He's coming. There are many Oracle ACE directors, right? So we'll talk about ACE directors in offline, but Oracle ACE directors are like a lot of guys like Arup Nanda, Jonathan Lewis, so many people. They come to your cities and they'll deliver. So please watch out to odevcyatra.in. That's the place. And we charge very minimum because what happens, if you're not charging and people actually come like this, we have, I think, 2,800 registrations. You see how many people turned up. It's a free event, right? That's why we charge 500 rupees, and we give that in the form of T-shirt. Okay, so thank you. Focus on innovation, not on administration. Okay, forget about all the admin job. Focus on innovation. That's my Twitter handle. And this is Autonomous Database. Yeah, thanks a lot.